Just one word can change everything. I was well into my career at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. My job was to protect and promote inventions that resulted from research on campus. An inventor invented a new formulation of drugs to treat narrowed blood vessels. When a doctor places a stent in an artery, it pries the vessel back open. However, the struts of the stent can stimulate the cells of the vessel to continue to grow. The response to a foreign body further narrows the vessel, even while the stent holds it open. The invention was a new formulation of drugs to slow the cell's growth. The formulation could be placed on the stent and creates a slow-releasing drug. I was so excited. The invention was compelling. The early data was promising, and the inventor was committed to finding a commercial application for his discovery. I sent out dozens and dozens of email. New formulation improves stents, and nothing. I had been promoting inventions to industry for years. Usually I get polite decline, tepid interest, even the occasional interest for more information. Total silence. A few weeks went by. Follow-ups got me nowhere. In frustration, I reached out to a friend in the industry, and she gave me some advice. No one is working in stents anymore. The future is in balloons. I almost didn't believe her. Surely medical technology isn't as fickle as fashion. Stents can't just be out this season and angioplasty balloons in. A few days later, however, I was desperate to try anything. I resent the email, changing stent to balloon, a one-word change. It's like someone flipped a switch. After weeks of meetings, I was talking to the product manager of a major medical device company, one of my leads who received both the stent and the balloon emails. He confided in me an eerie sense of deja vu, as though he'd seen the balloon invention before. Amused, I asked, like on a stent? No, he said, that's impossible. No one's working in stents anymore. My amusement hardened into frustration. It seemed like a failure or an illness, that the margin of error to bring a new product to market was so exacting. Was it too much to ask this guy to take the leap of imagination from stents to balloons? Could the path from invention to market only be one word wide? My frustration burned into anger. An entrepreneur I admire often tells me hard things are hard, and he's not wrong. 97% of patents never make a dime. 90% of tech startups fail. Big ideas, we're told, have to die 3 deaths, at least if they're ever going to change the world. Innovators must become immune to failure and then fail fast and fail often. But is that a good idea? Our country generously supports scientific discovery, nearly $200 billion, but it principally trusts to grit or providence that those inventions will become products in our economy. The result is inevitable. Nearly all those discoveries will end up on the side of that one-word path, dead and bloated, a dusty boneyard of innovation bleaching in the sun. Each one is more than an unsuccessful laboratory experiment or a failed startup. Each one is a candle, unlit in the face of darkest night. The oceans are rising. The next pandemic looms. The internet weaponized information to render truth unrecognizable. Our technological moment, lit bright by innovations past, may not make it till morning. Night is dangerously close. My experience with the stent, however, underscored that ideas that could light the night, fusion power, biological drugs, artificial intelligence, even after their improbable discovery, must traverse this ridiculous one-word path. Their fate's uncertain. So many candles snuffed too soon, if ever even lit. In the face of that realization, my anger and frustration cooled into something new: purpose. I would make camp on that one-word path and spend my days making it straight. No more unlit candles. But it didn't work. No matter how hard I tried, the path became snarled. Projects stalled, bodies piled up. I lost the path and only too slowly found my way back. I missed the traps until I'd fallen in them. Even if I could be in 3 places at once, I'd still be me. My work was always shackled to the prison of my lived experience. I couldn't do it alone. So I recruited students, colleagues, and inventors to walk the paths with me. I wrote grants, so many grants, to teach students and pay scientists. And it worked. Faculty clinicians built prototypes with community college design students. Business students wrote startup strategies with laboratory scientists. We shared noisy, hastily organized camps and descended together on that one-word path. Startups launched. Products moved. I let go. It became so obvious to me why I couldn't do it alone. As straight as we'd made those paths, they still weren't clear. It took dedicated pilots to navigate each treacherous leg of the path. Each journey on a known path was a new adventure. On the maps, they were marked with technical milestones and product timetables. But on the ground, they were navigated by people. People traversed the one-word path through the grace of their perspective. It took teams and their diversity of perspective keep projects moving. Perspective manifested itself as a design student's unexpected design for a prototype, or as an entrepreneur's clever new market for a product. Perspective can even arrive in some skeptically received and unwelcome advice. Stop talking about stents and start talking about balloons. My perspective on that advice felt very different. My anger and frustration melted away into appreciation. Her advice had worked, after all. And my cold purpose, well, that warmed into something most unexpected: inspiration. How many civilizations, lost to time and history, had solved the problem to which they had succumbed, but locked the solution away in a temple vault to royal sacristy? How many promising solutions to global warming or pandemic disease similarly lie dying on the side of the one-word path? The urgency of those dying ideas had furiously possessed me. My fierce longing to have that urgency mirrored by indifferent institutions or uninterested experts was just a self-inflicted wound. It was just a narcissistic excuse. It was just my own need for recognition. The connection I thought innovation needed was only ever a self-indulgent fantasy. I don't think anyone was even really listening. Instead, the one-word path confronted me with something else: agency. No longer was I pining for some expert to notice a great invention. Instead, the invention itself, as if by providence, inspired its own connections. Together, we rolled up our sleeves and moved that project down the one-word path. We brought our candles to the darkness and confronted the same night our ancestors had feared. In that moment, in that company, my hard feelings broke like a fever. In their place flooded a cathartic gratitude for that inspired community, the connections innovation truly needs, not my imagined savior. Yes, the path is treacherous. Yes, the failures feel unfair. And yes, good ideas die tragic and needless deaths. Innovation only might save us. We are not entitled to salvation. One word truly had changed everything. It patiently taught me, again and again, that the flames that lit our candles were never really our own. They weren't the bright lights seen on distant shores, but the warm campfire around which inspired people gather. Innovation is a mystery, like gravity or love, and it needs an inspired community to watch the fire and keep the candles lit. Thank you.